Has anyone ever been thrown under the bus at work? Or should I say gaslit? My problem is, why do people do that? What is the reasoning behind that? I don't understand that because I know I have been gaslit many times. When, I just talked about my last video about your work friends and you think they're your friends, which they're not. I thought one of my good friends, this was a very long time ago, I thought she was a friend of mine, and then I had my boss walking outside. Come to find out, she threw me under the bus about something. It was so long ago I can't even remember, but I thought, you have got to be kidding me. I will never understand that because we were pretty tight. And we did hang out a little bit after work. But she threw me under the bus for something. We're in sales. Maybe it was something about a petty sales thing. It's cutthroat. Sales is cutthroat. So, and that could have been it. But what are the reasons why people do that? Could it be jealousy? Could it be people that are so high up in the food chain, so to speak, that they think they can do that? Do they just dislike you? Or do they want to get rid of you? I'm starting to wonder about that. And that could be, I can tell you a little story here about a very good friend of mine. Last week, matter of fact, he is a maintenance director, maintenance manager, and he had to make a decision last week about, a lady. Let's back it up real quick. He works for a huge facility. It's kind of a facility for older people that they can go there, work out, do whatever, eat, swim. It's a huge facility. Well, he is the maintenance director there. Well, this one lady happens to park in a certain spot all the time. There was a van there that was a wheelchair accessible van that needed that space. Well, that wasn't good enough for her, so she squeezed in. She squeezed in, and her car was up on the curb. Well, that's illegally parked. So what happened was he had to make a decision, and he took a picture and sent it to his boss. And the boss said nothing, never commented, never said, hey, let me take a look at that situation before you do anything. Let me check it out. Nothing. So he made a decision. He called the towing company, and then they called the city cops. And they made a decision that it needed to be towed, that she was parked wrong. Oh, that did not go over well. For her to get that car back, it cost her $400. And she was hot. Well, she was parked illegally. You don't park up on a curb, for starters. And so he made the call. Well, his boss was hot that it cost her $400. And so this was, I think, on a Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was a Wednesday of last week. And then he got called into his boss's office. And he said, I'm giving you Friday off without pay because of this. He said that car did not need to be towed. But he was going along with what the cops and the towing company said, because he got the day off without pay and he got written up, and this is his last warning. And the next step is he's gone. He's going to be retiring next summer. Okay, his boss, I think he's been there longer than his boss. And so his boss has only been there a couple years. So he got the day off without pay. He got a warning and one more incident, and he's gone. And when I found that out, I thought, you gotta be kidding me. What in the world? It's like, why, if your boss was so upset about it, why didn't he come down and assess the situation? Why didn't he say, do not call the towing company? I will check it out. I will get down there. I think I was more upset than my friend. I don't understand that. Maybe the boss needed the day off too, because I think he was in the wrong too. They both should have had the day off. The thing is what I'm getting at, he was totally thrown under the bus. But I don't think, case in point here, I don't think the boss cares for him for some reason. Everybody else loves him there. But I don't think the boss does. And so they're going to do every little thing they can to get you out the door. Well, now most places they can get rid of you with no reason. I don't get it. But I don't understand why people do that. That's basically, he got thrown under the bus. That's a good case of getting thrown under the bus. Because if that boss was so adamant on this, he would have addressed the situation, but he didn't. And I'm sure there's so many people out there that have these little stories or these little situations that I'm so glad I'm retired right now, because I've been through it. I am so thankful I am retired and out of that rat race and out of management and just that higher step of the ladder. I am so thankful that I am out of that. But I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this story. I know a lot of people have gone through it. So if you can relate to that, and if you have had any kind of stories like this, being thrown under the bus at work, share them with me, please. I would love to hear them. So anyways, until the next video, have a great day. Bye.